Have you wanted to stay in a haunted hotel in the hope that you can catch a glimpse of something? Well, sit back and put your feet up. Here are 10 haunted hotels that you can stay in. Oh, we do love a haunted hotel. Kicking us off at number 10, Hotel Chelsea, New York. The Hotel Chelsea is a bohemian monument that was erected between 1883 and 1885. Although it was home to several artists, novelists, poets, and musicians, it is best remembered as the location where Sex Pistols bassist Sid Vicious fatally stabbed girlfriend Nancy Spungen. Vicious died of a heroin overdose before the case could be tried. Poet Dylan Thomas was staying at the Chelsea when he went into a deadly coma and died later in the hospital. However, it is likely that Sid Vicious and Dylan Thomas never left the Hotel Chelsea at all. Their ghosts, along with playwright Eugene O'Neill and author Thomas Wolfe, have been sighted walking its hallways. Other guests have claimed a variety of unexplained experiences, including frigid air, phantom footsteps, and lights that turn on and off at whim. Number 9. Talbot Hotel, Oundle, England. Fotheringay Castle was built in 1100. It had a colorful past, having been the birthplace of Richard III, whose remains were found recently beneath a parking lot, and the site of Mary Queen of Scots' trial and execution. By the 1600s, the castle had fallen into disrepair and was demolished, but not before some of it was salvaged. Most famous was the castle's oak staircase, which made its way into the neighboring Talbot Hotel in Oundle, Northamptonshire. According to legend, Mary walked down those stairs on her way to be executed, leaving the mark of a crown on the wood from a ring she was wearing. Even though she has been dead for over 400 years, Mary has not slept well. Her ghost has been seen walking down the stairs, furniture has been rearranged, and a portrait of Mary has been known to spring from the walls. Number 8. Hotel Castello della Castelluccia, Rome, Italy. Rome is one of the world's most ancient cities, with more blood spilled on its land than anywhere else on the planet. The Castello della Castelluccia, a renovated 11th century castle described by some guests as something out of a fairy tale, has seen its fair share of history, changing hands several times and housing many aristocratic families, including the Orsinis, Mutis, Odelscanis, and operatic tenor Francesco Marconi. But this history has left its mark. It is supposed to be haunted by 3 spirits, probably including the insane Emperor Nero, who wanders about the grounds, and tourists have reported seeing phantom horses going by at night. Number 7. Queen Mary, California. The Cunard Line built the Queen Mary, the flagship ocean liner for transatlantic travel, which carried celebrities and dignitaries. During World War II, it was painted gray and employed as a troop ship, but after the war, it was restored to its former glory. The Queen Mary was removed from operation in 1967 and permanently docked in Long Beach, California, where it was converted into a floating hotel. Over the years, dozens of individuals died on the ship, including at least 2 men who were crushed by an engine room door. Spectral women in 1930s-style bathing suits are frequently seen about the pool, telephones ring without being answered, and children's sorrowful screams can be heard at night. Unlike many hotels which downplay suspected paranormal activity, the Queen Mary welcomes its ethereal guests, conducting daily ghost tours. Number 6. Akasaka Weekly Mansion, Tokyo, Japan. The Japanese have always been serious about their ghosts, and Tokyo has been the site of stories like the Noparabu, a terrible spirit who appears normal until a person approaches. When it turns to acknowledge you, it shows a white face devoid of features. The Akasaka Weekly Mansion, an extended-stay apartment, is said to be one of Tokyo's most haunted locales, with visitors reporting apparitions, ghostly mists, and feeling disembodied hands touch them while sleeping. Halfway there, at number 5, Fairmont Banff Springs Hotels, Banff, Canada. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, located high in the Canadian Rockies, is reminiscent of a stunning medieval castle in the woods. The Fairmont's management strongly denies any supernatural activity, although rumors abound. One spirit that is regularly seen is that of a bride, who was purportedly slain in a horrific accident shortly before walking down the aisle. The other, even more humorous story concerns an elderly bellhop named Sam Macaulay. Sam loved the hotel so much that even after his death, he continued to work there. Guests describe a white-haired bellhop assisting them, only to disappear before they can tip him. At number 4, Russell Hotel, Sydney, Australia. Australia has a harsh and tumble history, beginning as a British convict colony. The Russell Hotel has a terrible history, having operated as a hospital during horrific epidemics of smallpox and bubonic plague, before becoming a rooming house and hostel for sailors. It appears like at least one of the seafarers refuses to go. Roommate guests report waking up to find a dark apparition hovering over their bed, gazing down. Others claim to have observed prostitute spirits strolling the halls or opening and closing doors. Some allege that recent repairs to the original sandstone structure have only heightened the old spirits, and activity has apparently increased. Number 3. Grand Hyatt Hotel, Taipei, Taiwan. It is said that the Grand Hyatt was built on territory that had previously served as a Japanese execution ground and prison camp during World War II. The soil was so poisoned by death and sorrow that ghostly occurrences abounded in the modern hotel, and the people avoided it like the plague. Even action hero Jackie Chan had an unsettling experience storming out of his apartment in the middle of the night after sighting a ghost. Desperate, management turned to feng shui specialists, who erected wind chimes, amulets, and Buddhist scrolls in the foyer to ward off spirits. Number 2. Ballygally Castle, Hotel Larne, Northern Ireland. Ballygally Castle, built in 1625, may not have the most scary name, but it has a long and illustrious history. It was owned by the Shaw family for many years, until being purchased by Cyril Lord, a carpets tycoon who refurbished and extended the property. It was sold again and eventually became a hotel. One of its former occupants was James Shaw, husband of Lady Isabel. Poor Isabel is supposed to have crossed her husband in some way. Some suspect that she was an adulteress, while others believe she was unable to produce a male heir. Shaw imprisoned his wife in the turret chamber, where she tossed herself out the window into her dorm rather than being starved to death. Lady Isabel has now demonstrated a highly active presence at the castle, appearing frequently to guests and knocking on their doors at unusual hours. James himself may potentially be present. It is said that he was poisoned at the castle. Another spirit, Madame Nixon, is seen in a whirling, exquisite gown. The naughty laughing of children can be heard tinkling in the hallways. Number 1. Le Pavillon Hotel, New Orleans. The hotel was built in 1907 and is described on its website as a place where guests can instantly conjure the days of genteel luxury, romantic evenings, and glittering nights. Guests may also have an encounter with the dead, as Le Pavillon is said to be haunted by at least 5 ghosts. The most well-known of these is Ada, a distraught adolescent ghost murdered by a runaway carriage who has been known to run into people in the lobby, claim to be lost, and then vanish. Ada may have predated the hotel's construction. Witnesses believe she is dressed in the mid-19th century style. A gray-haired elderly woman in a black dress has been seen, as has a spectral pair holding hands. Some claim they can smell the man's cigar smoke and the lady's perfume. Most funny of all is the hotel's resident hippie, a young man dressed in bright colors, bell-bottoms, and no shoes who is frequently seen racing around and disappearing into the walls. The hippie ghost is a joker that frequently hides stuff and removes blankets from unexpected guests. Well, we do hope you liked today's stories. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. Until next time.